Hi, gang. It's Patrick.
And Adam.
Coming up on today's episode, we explore Discovery Island and go back in time with the dinosaurs on part 1 of our walk in the park in Animal Kingdom. As always, we discuss the latest Disney news, and we close out the show with some quick D. All that and more on today's episode of Gays Do the D.
To all who come to this happy place, welcome.
Adam, Wilderness Explorer Hummel.
Jumbo Patrick. Kilimanjaro Kazuki.
Ooh, I will Kilimanjaro. Is that a directive or a name?
It is a directive. Kilimanjaro. Yes.
Great. That's how I interpreted it.
Yeah.
How are you, sir?
I'm doing fantastic. How are you today?
I'm also doing fantastic. Thank you so much for asking.
Absolutely my pleasure. How is your spring treating you thus far?
Oh, wait, it's today, isn't it, on our day of recording?
It is spring, a fish. It's a fish spring, Patrick. How you feeling about it?
I'm feeling rejuvenated. I'm ready for babies to be born. I'm going to watch Bambi on loop for a while, you know?
No traumatic consequences from watching Bambi on a loop. None whatsoever.
I'm only going to watch like the first 25 minutes.
Got it. The more joyful moments, and then perhaps jump ahead maybe 20 minutes, and then you're good to go again.
Nope. As soon as that ice skating scene is over, I'm just going to turn it off and watch something else.
Ah, okay.
That's how I choose to live my life in 2021.
Whatever you need to do, Patrick, whatever you need to do to keep yourself feeling good, you know?
I do know indeed, Adam. Well, listen, it is spring. Things are new. Things are being born. This is a great segue because we have something new and exciting to talk about that we should just dive right into. What do you say?
Let's do it. I'm pregnant.
With a baby microphone.
I was told if you kept the microphone close to your mouth, you couldn't get pregnant.
Nope, that's false. That is a false accusation.
All right. Well,
don't listen to that.
I guess my 5th grade health teacher failed me.
You need to have one of those plastic wraps over the microphone and then you're good.
Oh, okay. Great. Good to know. That would explain the large amount of baby microphones I have just filling up my apartment.
This feels like a Pixar short waiting to happen.
Baby mics.
All right, we said we're going to jump into it, and as per usual, we veered off course for a good while. Adam, explain to the Tweedles at home our exciting news, please.
I get the honor of explaining it?
You do indeed. You got the ball rolling. You were involved in all of the emails, and I just said yes to a couple of things.
Well, all of our Tweedles already know because hopefully they've downloaded this episode or they've at least seen the show image, and that means that you are all aware of the fact that we have a new logo right now.
We do indeed. It has been a few months in the making, at least, right? We've been tossing this idea around for about a half a year now of wanting to sort of rebrand our image, right?
Yeah, we don't really need to get into all the details, but let's just say that Disney became aware of our existence. Right? I mean, they figured out that we are, in fact, a part of this world. I don't know who told them, but someone was listening and said, maybe you want to reconsider the fact that that D looks so much like our Walt Disney Company logo D.
It's very similar. It's not the same D. I'll have everyone know. It is not the same D.
No, because once you've had one D, you don't want to have the same D. You want to experience new Ds, right?
That's right. A food pyramid of Ds.
And so Disney said, hey, how about something different? They actually didn't say that. We said, you know what? This is the time. We've been discovered, and it's time to change it up officially. And so we did. But yes, it's been months in the planning.
That's right. So we hope you enjoy our new image. We certainly do. We think it's fun. We think it's fresh. We think it's a little more us, you know?
Yeah. And we need to say thank you to Matt, who designed our logo, who works for Likewise, and you can find him online at thinklikewise.com.
Matt was a delight to work with. We highly recommend him, and we love what he created for us.
We do. And on top of all of that, a new logo You know what a new logo means. It's time to go to some new merch, Patrick.
Such a great sentence that just fell out of your mouth. I applaud it.
We have so many new shirts, pillows, masks, tote bags, baby onesies, or adult onesies if you just want to wear a really small piece of clothing.
And I do.
You opt for no clothing, Patrick.
Just like a stitch.
Just enough to sneak our new logo onto your body.
That's right. Watch my swatch, you know?
You should get a tramp stamp of our new logo.
It's funny that you don't think I already don't have one.
You're so dedicated to the movement we're creating.
That's right. I've been getting into amateur tattoo artistry lately.
You're doing your own tattoos?
That's right. I have a tattoo gun. Is that what it's called? Just glued to the wall, and I back up into it and just sort of move my body and hope for the best.
It sounds like you've had experience in backing up on things.
We should move on, Adam. But we have to talk about some of these delicious designs that are now available, some new designs available on our merch shop.
We're talking about designs inspired by Disney Legal. Did you hear that? Inspired by The Incredibles, Patrick.
So incredible. We have Toy Story available.
Toy Story? Who would have even thought Frozen?
Ugh. Delicious. The Lion King, which is very appropriate for today's episode.
It certainly is. The Mandalorian. It's a little art house film that no one's ever heard of.
I've heard of it. I'm going to explore it this weekend. Also, Cinderella is available.
Classic Cinderella. Spaceship Earth. How about a design based on a classic Disney attraction?
No one's ever done it before. We are the very first. And of course, the character that I share a fashion sense with, shirts only, no bottoms, Winnie the Pooh.
Which of these new designs, Patrick, speaks to you the most? Which calls to you?
Great question. I love them all. I think the Cinderella one maybe is my favorite one.
Yes, so beautiful, so classic. So everyone, when you have a chance, head on over to our website at gaystothed.com and visit that merch tab. And that will take you to our online store where you can view all of these new items and pick one or two out for yourself.
Pick several. And here's why, everybody. Because 100% of the proceeds that we receive, that Gays Do the D receives from these online sales, goes directly, quarterly, to a new nonprofit that we've selected. And currently, now through April, we are giving all of our proceeds away to the Okra Project.
The Okra Project is a collective that seeks to address the global crisis faced by Black trans people by bringing home-cooked, healthy, and culturally specific meals and resources to Black trans people wherever the Okra Project can find them. So they truly are doing remarkable work in meeting people where the need is at.
Yeah, they are doing amazing, innovative work in the community. They need a lot of help. They need a lot of resources, as do most nonprofits. But because of the pandemic, they have been a little bit limited in their resources, and so they need some help. So we are answering the call and giving all of our proceeds from our online shop to the Okra Project. You can learn more about the Okra Project by visiting theokraproject.com.
And if none of the merch items speak to you, I don't know how they wouldn't, because they are couture. They are couture items. You probably saw our recent runway show in Paris. It was quite the to-do. But if none of those items speak to you, we get it. You can just visit theokraproject.com and donate directly to them there.
Absolutely. We highly recommend that you do. But listen, why not be fashionable and give some money?
And rep the podcast in the parks. We appreciate the advertising. We consider you all walking billboards, and we say thank you.
And that's all we think of you as.
That's it. Thank you for the advertising space. We are grateful.
Very exciting news, Adam. The only thing I can think of that's maybe a little bit more exciting is this week in Disney history.
A little bit more exciting. A lot a bit more exciting, Patrick.
Oh, thank you so much. You're the perfect hype person. I don't know. Is that the word?
I'll take hype man. I'll take hype woman. I'll take hype baby. I identify as all of those things.
You're super hyper, and I appreciate it. Here we go. This week in Disney history. 9 years ago, Adam, on March 23rd, 2012, Doc McStuffins premiered on the Disney Channel and on Disney Junior. The show, if you've not seen it, is delightful. It's about a girl named Dottie who fixes and heals her toys. How cute is that? The show features songs from Kay Hanley and Michelle Lewis. It still runs in syndication, but the final episode ran on April 18th, 2020.
I assume this is something you can check out on Disney Plus as well, right?
I don't know the answer to that. I did not research whether or not that's accurate.
That's A-okay, because Tweedles, you can just head on over to Disney Plus and do a damn search.
And let us know. Listen, we can't be bothered to do homework.
We can't know everything, okay?
That's right. That's absolutely right. Moving on, 21 years ago, on March 23rd, 2000, Disney's Aida opened on Broadway at the Palace Theater with music and lyrics by Elton John and Tim Rice. The show was nominated for 5 Tony Awards, and it won 4 of them for Best Lighting Design, Best Scenic Design, Best Actress in a Musical for Heather Headley, Queen Heather Headley, and Best Original Score. And the original cast album won the Grammy Award that year for Best Musical Show Album. And the song, Written in the Stars, reached number 2 on the Billboard music charts. The show ran for 4 years with 1,852 performances.
Patrick, may I be vulnerable on this podcast for a moment?
Please do. Please do so. This is a safe space.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it. I love Aida.
I mean, if you don't love Aida, you don't love.
Oh. I was like, don't love what? But you don't love, period.
Yeah, you don't have love in your heart.
Truer words were never spoken. I love this show so much. I had the pleasure of seeing this show on the Broadway. Not the original cast, I will say, but I did get to see one Ms. Idina Menzel as Amneris.
I was just going to ask you if Idina was in the show at that time.
She was, and she was fantastic. I mean, how could she not be? But man, this musical blew me away. It's so beautiful. It's so moving. It has such a fantastic message. And you know me, Patrick, I love a tragic ending. And boy, oh boy, does Aida have such a beautifully tragic ending.
Yes, it does. And also, I mean, dress has always been my strongest suit as well. So
funny you should say that. It is not your strongest suit. How often are you dressed?
Not often, but when I am, I pull out all the stops.
You do, layer upon layer upon layer.
That's right. I have several wrap dresses that turn into full gowns.
That's the reverse of a reveal.
That's right. It's called a put it away.
Hide it from the world.
Absolutely. All right. Well, let's move on, Adam, to our last item this week in Disney history. 60 years ago, on March 24th, 1986, I felt we should slip this one in honor of the Academy Awards that are coming up. The Academy of Motion Picture Arts and Sciences gave an Oscar to David Spencer for his 1985 development of APT, or Animation Photo Transfer, which is a technique that transfers an animator's art onto cells using a photo-negative process. After the transfer, chemicals are then used to remove ink from the non-exposed areas. Now, this may all sound like a bunch of words that don't really go together, but the technique saved tons of time when animating a movie, and it was first used on 1985's The Black Cauldron.
What a technological achievement, Patrick.
Oh, for sure. It sounds like small potatoes, but it was a huge leap forward in animation. And I actually love talking about when awards are given to the sciences behind the movies. I mean, we all love and celebrate actors and writers and directors, but the science behind movies is so fascinating to me. And I love that they get some attention, not the main event attention, but they do get some attention and accolades.
Yeah, absolutely. And the red carpet for the Arts and Sciences Awards that are given out by the Academy, that red carpet is not to be missed, because you think you want to see all the famous celebrities, but no, you want to see the people working behind the scenes and what they're wearing, like a suit or, a dress from the Gap.
Hey, don't knock dresses from the Gap. They're delightful. They're cute and they're flirty.
I don't knock them. I wear them.
Oh, fair enough.
It is spring after all. A flirty spring dress from the Gap.
How appropriate. Well, that, Adam, was this week in Disney history.
Thank you so much, Patrick. Always great to learn something new in each new episode. You're teaching the children, Patrick, and we appreciate it.
Thank you so much. We must remember our past so we can have a brighter future. This whole metaphor escaped me, but you know what I mean.
Felt super inspirational starting off, and then it just kind of tanked.
Welcome to my life.
But speaking of the past and remembering the past, remember when we announced we had a new logo about 10 minutes ago?
Vaguely. I vaguely remember it.
Sure. Well, in conjunction with that announcement, we have another announcement, and that's that we're going to be having a giveaway.
It's been years since we've had a giveaway, or 2 months at least.
Couple of months, yeah. We are giving away, Patrick, the winner's choice of one of our newly released GDTD logo t-shirts.
Amazing. Any of those designs that we talked about earlier in the episode, you can choose one of those. You can choose the classic logo if you want to.
Yeah, the classic logo. I mean, that'll take you from day to night.
It's a real transitional outfit, for sure.
Absolutely. Yes. So you can head on over to our Instagram at GDTD Podcast, follow us, like the post featuring the giveaway, and comment by tagging a Disney-loving friend, and you're entered to win. The more people you tag, the more entries you receive. Got that, everybody?
Got it. Thank you so much.
On top of that, you can obtain an extra 3 entries by reposting our post and tagging us at GDTD Podcast, or adding our post to your stories and tagging us.
3 entries? Who doesn't love 3 entries? I can't find one person. You know?
Oh. Entries will be accepted up until 6 o'clock p.m. on Friday, March 26th. The winner will be contacted via DM shortly after that to obtain their shirt choice and size info, and their name will be announced on our Monday, March 29th episode. Patreon members are automatically entered to win in a separate patron-only giveaway, and the Patreon winner will also be announced on our March 29th episode. This giveaway is in no way affiliated with or sponsored by Instagram.
In no way whatsoever. And Patreon members, remember, you can still enter to win the other one. So if you don't win the Patreon one, you can still post like everyone else, like the common folk, you know what I mean? Our common listeners. And you can be a part of both drawings.
That's right. Keep yourself humble and post like just the regular Tweedles do.
It's like sitting amongst the people, you know, instead of in the balconies.
It is. Absolutely. So everybody, head on over to GDTD Podcast and please enter to win, and good luck.
Good luck, everybody. Good luck. And you know what? They don't have to enter to win, Adam.
What's that?
That's the news, my friend.
Yeah, we're just going to force this news upon you.
We assume that you already gave us consent. Here's the news, everyone.
After being closed for more than a year, magic is finally returning to the Disneyland Resort theme parks. Disneyland Park and Disney California Adventure Park are planning to officially reopen to the public on April 30th with limited capacity. New magic will also be unveiled, too, as the reimagined Snow White's Enchanted Wish opens to guests for the very first time. From surprise appearances along Main Street USA and Pixar Pier to playful interactions, characters from favorite Disney stories will entertain and delight. Beloved characters will pop up in new ways and sometimes in unexpected places as they remain mindful of physical distancing. Certain experiences that draw large group gatherings, such as parades and nighttime spectaculars, will return at a later date. Because theme park capacity will be significantly limited to comply with governmental requirements and promote physical distancing, the Disneyland Resort will manage attendance through a new theme park reservation system that requires all guests to obtain a reservation for park entry in advance. To enter a park, both a park reservation and valid admission for the same park on the same date are required for guests ages 3 and up. Theme park reservations will be limited limited and subject to availability, and until further notice, only California residents may visit the parks in line with current state guidelines. More details about this new reservation system will be available soon. In the days leading up to the public reopening on April 30th, Disneyland Resort will invite cast members and members of the local community to be the first theme park guests after more than a year of closure. Guests will also have the opportunity to stay in the middle of the magic as the hotels of the Disneyland Resort plan to welcome guests once again with a phased reopening. Disney's Grand Californian Hotel and Spa plans to reopen on April 29th with limited capacity. Disney Vacation Club Villas at Disney's Grand Californian Hotel and Spa will plan to reopen May 2nd. Disney's Paradise Pier Hotel and the Disneyland Hotel will reopen at a later date. The health and well-being of guests and cast members remain a top priority, just as the downtown Disney district at Disneyland Resort reopened with enhanced health and safety measures. Operational changes will be in place at the theme parks and hotels to align with guidance from health authorities and learnings from the Disney parks around the world to promote physical distancing, enhanced cleanliness, and reduced contact. This guidance is fluid and applicable at any given time as community situations change. With that guidance, many factors will determine the timing of when offerings may be available. Cast members will be available to explain new procedures and answer questions guests may have. Visit Disneyland.com for the most current information, including future details about ticket sales and reservations, and which experiences are currently available or will be offered. Ooh, Patrick, that was a lot of information.
A lot of information, but very exciting information.
Very exciting. Very exciting that we're getting pop-up appearances from characters. A little cryptic on when it's going to happen. They're like, it's going to happen and it's going to be unexpected, so be ready.
They're just going to scare the crap out of you. From 6 feet away, of course.
From 6 feet away, yes. Distanced terror. That's what Disneyland Resort is going for.
Well, let's keep the good news rolling, Adam. Disney World isn't the only park celebrating a big milestone this year. On June 16th, Shanghai Disney will celebrate 5 years. Starting on April 8th, Shanghai Disney will be celebrating a year of magical surprises. Each land throughout the park will be decorated and illuminated with a special 5th anniversary treatment. A new soundtrack will also be heard throughout the park all year long. And of course, limited edition souvenirs and treats will be available for purchase throughout the park. Disneytown and the resort's 2 hotels will also get special decorations and limited edition items for purchase. At random times throughout the day, special and rarely seen characters will make surprise appearances, and be on the lookout for an all-new surprise squad that will be popping up and greeting guests with gifts, treats, and opportunities to be invited to be an exclusive VIP for the day in the park. As the year unfolds, more surprises will be unveiled, from nighttime spectaculars to parades to one-of-a-kind opportunities to take part in shows and VIP experiences. As we learn more about the 5-year anniversary celebration, we will be sure to highlight them for you in upcoming episodes.
Are you proud of that?
I'm so proud of that. It was such a labor of love, really.
What is with Disney parks and all these surprises? All I'm hearing is if you have a heart condition, do not visit a park anytime soon.
There's also pop-up appearances by medical alert teams.
Nominations for the 93rd Annual Academy Awards were announced last week, and the films from across the Walt Disney Company's various studios combined to earn 15 nominations. Patrick.
15. That's how many years old I am.
Is it?
In dog years.
Got it. Disney and Pixar's Onward and Soul are both nominated for Best Animated Feature. Soul also picked up nominations for Best Original Score. That's the score by John Batiste, Atticus Ross, and Trent Reznor. And Soul also picked up a nomination for Best Achievement in Sound. The live-action remake of Mulan was nominated for Best Costume Design and Best Visual Effects. The one and only Ivan was nominated for Best Visual Effects. And Burrow received a nomination for Best Animated Short Film. And we talk a lot about Disney's animated work on this podcast, Patrick, but we should mention that the Walt Disney Company's Searchlight Pictures picked up 6 nominations for Nomadland, including Best Motion Picture and Best Achievement in Directing, making Chloe Zhao the first woman of color nominated for Best Director at the Academy Awards. She's also the most nominated woman in a single year in Oscar history, garnering 3 additional nods for Best Adapted Screenplay, Editing, and as a producer in the Best Picture category.
Who runs the world? She does.
Chloe does, yeah. And on top of her nominations for Nomadland, we also know that she's tied to another upcoming Disney film, a Marvel film, The Eternals.
That's right. She will be directing, or has directed, I guess, coming out later this year.
So, Chloe, you're just killing it. Come on the podcast.
She's listening for sure. She has nothing else to do.
She has absolutely nothing else to do. She's got buckets of free time on her hands.
For sure.
And last but not least, Patrick, we need to mention that Andra Day received a nomination for Best Actress in a Leading Role for her portrayal of Billie Holiday in Hulu's The United States versus Billie Holiday. So Disney is cleaning up in the nominations.
Crushing it, sweeping it all up, making it its B word, you know?
I was going to suggest making a mosaic, but no, you said making it its B word.
That's right. I think that most eloquently states what we mean.
The 93rd Oscars will be held on Sunday, April 25th, 2021, and will be televised live on, Disney-owned ABC at 8 o'clock p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific time.
Seems like a conflict of interest.
What doesn't Disney own? I mean, come on. They own all of these platforms and all of these theatrical releases, and they also own the network on which the awards will be televised.
You know what they don't own, Adam? Our new logo.
They'd find a way. Their legal department will find a way.
That's right. Yet. They don't own it yet. It's official, Adam. I've got the bug. The travel bug, and Disney Cruise Line has got the vaccination, but it won't roll out until 2022. Have I beaten this metaphor to death?
I don't know about that, but I'm thoroughly confused right now, and I'm concerned for your health.
Thank you. Many are when they see me. Many are. So last week, Disney Cruise Line unveiled its new summer 2022 destinations and itineraries, and I am all aboard for it. A few highlights. The Disney Magic will do a grand tour of Europe, beginning with trips through the Greek Isles and the Mediterranean, and then sailings through the Baltic, the British Isles, Iceland, and the Norwegian fjords. If we start saving now, Adam, I bet we can afford it.
I have notes for you regarding your use of puns today.
Listen, I feel good about it. I feel real good about it. The Disney Wonder will return to the fan favorite Alaska cruise, exploring the vistas, glaciers, and wildlife that make Alaska America's favorite 49th state. Departing from Vancouver, Canada, the 7-night cruise will visit Dawes Glacier, Skagway, Juneau, and Ketchikan. And for the first time ever, cruises will begin sailing out of Miami during the summer season. And every cruise departing Miami during the summer of 2022 will include a stop at Disney's private island, Castaway Cay. Last but not least, the Disney Wish is still expected to make its maiden voyage in the summer of 2022. No itineraries have been released yet for the Disney Wish, but all other summer 2022 sailings will begin booking as soon as March 25th, 2021. To learn more or to purchase a cruise for me, you can visit disneycruise.com.
Patrick, have you ever heard that some seniors, when they retire, they actually sell their homes and just jump from cruise ship to cruise ship and just end up living the rest of their lives on cruise ships?
That sounds exactly like what I want to do. I started my life cruising, through the bars, and I'm going to end my life cruising. Well, hello there, Adam.
Oh, hi, Patrick.
Adam, as we mentioned earlier in the episode, and as everyone knows who's alive right now, I guess, spring has sprung in the world.
Yes, and it feels so good, does it not?
It does. It does feel good. Anything over 40 degrees here in Minnesota feels fantastic.
Fantastic, yes.
Some leaves are starting to sprout on the trees. Little baby ducks and geese are flying all over the place. It's adorable. It's an adorable time of year.
It's all happening, yeah.
It's all happening. And now that it's warm enough, Adam, I think it's time that you and I take a walk.
And by that, I assume you mean just a gentle stroll around our neighborhood.
That's right, a gentle stroll through our neighborhood. And let's just continue walking all the way to Florida into Disney's Animal Kingdom for a walk in the park.
Okay, that is quite the walk. I don't know if I'm physically there, but I'm willing to give it a shot.
I believe in you. I trust in your abilities. I think we can make this happen.
There's no better way to travel during a panty than to just take a long walk down to Florida.
We'll be so svelte by the time we're there.
That's a great point. That is the ultimate diet, is it not? Just walk to your destination, walk to Disney.
I like it. That's the only reason to do it. Absolutely. Well, Adam, I'm so excited. As I was researching Animal Kingdom, or I guess re-researching, because I love the park so much, I re-fell in love with Animal Kingdom, and I think, Adam, it might actually be my favorite park in Disney World.
Okay, Hollywood Studios is crying right now.
Yeah, get out of here. Scram, Hollywood Studios. Animal Kingdom's here.
This is like an episode of 90 Day Fiancé.
90 Day Park.
No, I know exactly what you mean, Patrick. You know, with each of these Walk in the Park episodes, and we've done now all of Magic Kingdom, all of Hollywood Studios, most of Epcot. We did not do currently Future World because that's in a transitional phase right now. But with each of these feature segments that we've done, you do kind of find the little things that really tie you to that experience, that tie you to that park, and you do kind of reignite your passion for whatever park we're covering.
That's right. We sort of discover the nuances that make these parks as magical as they are.
And this is the baby of all the parks in Walt Disney World.
That's right. It's the last born within the family of Disney World parks. I am also the last born, so maybe that's why I love it as much as I do.
That's why you feel connected to it, absolutely. And every time I'm in Animal Kingdom, I'm like, I feel like I'm in Patrick.
Yeah, I have a real intimate connection with Animal Kingdom on many levels, Adam.
This took a turn, but you know what? It's a wild park, and let's keep things wild.
We're going to keep it wild, Adam, but this is going to be just part one of a few episodes of A Walk in the Park through Animal Kingdom. It's an enormous park, and so we broke it down into 3 sections, I believe. Is that correct?
3 parts to Animal Kingdom. Yeah, you know, there is a lot of ground to be covered with this park. Literally a lot of ground. There's a lot of walking. It is Disney's largest park, and there's a good reason why. It's because, you know why? It's because of all those animals, Patrick. Those animals need that space.
They do indeed. So for today's episode, we are going to break it up also into 3 different sections. I'm going to start talking about some fun facts that make Animal Kingdom as delightful as it is. I'm going to take us into the entrance to the park. Adam is going to walk us through Discovery Island, and then we're going to close out with Dinoland USA.
Just a gentle way to kind of ease into Animal Kingdom. And we should say, Patrick, we are going to be assuming that it's normal times, right? This is not the current state of Animal Kingdom. It's not during the pandemic. This is during normal operating times.
That's right. That's right. Who can say what the new normal is going to look like going forward? But we are walking through the park as though it was pre-pandemic or hopefully post-pandemic.
Well, I'm excited, Patrick. I'm excited to kind of take this little virtual vacay, little mental vacay, and revisit one of my favorite Disney parks.
You stole it from me. It's my favorite Disney park. But here we go, Adam. Let's jump right in. So Animal Kingdom opened on Earth Day on April 22nd, 1998, making it the 4th theme park in the Walt Disney World collection. And fun fact, at 580 acres, as Adam mentioned, Animal Kingdom is the largest theme park, not only within Walt Disney World, but in the world, Adam.
Well, that explains why I'm so tired after a day in the AK.
It does indeed. So for reference, the Magic Kingdom is 107 acres, meaning it would fit inside of Animal Kingdom 5 times.
That's fast math, Patrick. I am proud of you.
It was fast math for some people, but I wrote this a while ago.
Okay, great.
Breaking the magic. So we're going to mention his name, I'm assuming, roughly 8,000 times during our walks through Animal Kingdom, but we can basically thank Joe Rohde for the creation of this park. And he was kind of a newbie to Disney at the time. He started working for Disney in 1980, and by 1989, he had pitched the idea and plans were underway. And by 1995, Disney officially announced the park, then titled Wild Animal Kingdom, or Adam, WAC.
Whack. Can you imagine the gall to be an Imagineer for like 10 years and be like, oh, I have an idea for a park. Let's do this.
I can't imagine it, and that imagination is Joe Rohde.
Joe Rohde and his stretched out earlobes.
Do you think NASA is making him put him back to smaller earlobes?
It's Virgin Galactic. Thank you so much.
Oh, sorry. Space is space to me, you know? Oh dear. So obviously what sets Animal Kingdom apart from the other Disney theme parks is that it serves as both an amusement park and a habitat and sanctuary for hundreds of species of live animals. It is accredited by the Association of Zoos and Aquariums and the World Association of Zoos and Aquariums, which in a nutshell means they have met or exceeded the standards required for conservation, research, and education.
And isn't that what you want to know when you're going to a park that has animals? Like, zoos can be such a sad experience when you see the conditions the animals are in. And even if guest-facing things look fine, you may kind of wonder what it's like, quote unquote, backstage. But you know in Disney's Animal Kingdom that they are taking such great care of all of the animals that are in the park.
For sure. Full transparency. Even when I'm within Animal Kingdom, I do look at the animals and have a little bit of a heartbreak moment. But then I remind myself of the great care that they are taking of these animals. And so many of them are actually just being rehabilitated within the parks and then will be set free and into the wild if it's safe to do so.
And Disney has a long track record of taking excellent care of animals in their parks. I mean, look at Mickey Mouse.
The most well-preserved mouse ever.
So well fed, so well cared for. Excellent health care for Mickey.
So the overall park itself is designed specifically with the safety and well-being of the animals that make their home in the Animal Kingdom. This not only includes the physical aspects of the park, but also the noise level. It is the only Disney theme park that does not include fireworks in the nighttime spectacular. The park also exclusively uses either biodegradable paper straws or no straws at all. In fact, plastic straws and lids are prohibited within the park. Also, you cannot purchase or bring in a balloon.
And that right there is my sticking point with Animal Kingdom. If I can't have a balloon with me at all times, is it even a Disney experience?
If you don't see 3 to 4 Disney balloons that have been lost and a small child crying in a corner, is it a Disney park? I don't know.
That's true. That's so true. If there's not a balloon blocking your view for some kind of experience, are you in a Disney park? Am I Jeff Foxworthy right now?
That's right. If a mom and dad isn't complaining about $35 for a balloon, then not a Disney park.
You might not be in a Disney park.
So apart from the animals, this, for my money, was when Disney really got into the game of authentic design. Under Joe Rohde's guidance, Imagineers traveled all over Africa and Asia for inspiration. Obviously, much of the park is manufactured using Disney magic, but massive amounts are real, authentic materials and plants that you would find in Asia and Africa. In fact, over 40,000 trees were planted as the park was being built, and many elements like rooftops and hand-painted wooden artifacts were built in Africa and Asia.
I've never been to Africa or Asia, but man, it feels authentic to me. It does feel like a very realistic experience.
So detailed. Every inch of it is detailed. So another interesting fact, as of 2019, Animal Kingdom was the 3rd most visited theme park in North America and 6th most visited in the world. And within Disney World, it is the 2nd most visited park behind Magic Kingdom.
Still, even after Rise of the Resistance opened?
That is as of 2019. And I don't think they have. 2020 was kind of a bust, so we don't really have accurate information beyond 2019.
Got it. That makes sense. And on top of all of that, Patrick, not only is it fun to visit Animal Kingdom, but it's also a very educational experience. So as a parent, I would absolutely want to take my kids there.
Oh, for sure. I mean, as a human, I want to go there because I learn something new every time I'm in that park.
Even as a Martian, Patrick.
Yep. Lots of Martians visit that park for sure.
You don't know. They could disguise themselves.
I don't know. You're right. You're absolutely right. So all of that being said, including the Martians, let's start walking, shall we?
I've got my Keds on. Let's do this.
Keds. Great choice. Great choice. Not an ad, but great choice.
Hashtag not sponsored.
I'm assuming yours are the Velcro Keds, yeah?
Well, now I'm humiliated on this podcast. I don't know how to tie shoes, okay?
Don't be humiliated. Just learn.
It's a lot of energy.
Fair. You got to conserve that energy. We're going to be walking for a while. So here we go. So right off the bat, before we come to the main entrance, we have the very authentic, I would say, Rainforest Cafe,
I don't want you to detect any sarcasm coming out of my voice, but I love the Rainforest Cafe.
Yeah. For some reason, it's a very popular restaurant. Who can say why? I'm sure many of our Tweedles absolutely love this restaurant, but I promise you, everybody, you can do better. It is themed out to the gods to represent a rainforest with animatronic wildlife and simulated rainstorms. But folks, here's the thing. You're at Animal Kingdom with real animals, so can we not?
The whole park is a Rainforest Cafe.
Yes, it is. Minus the straws and plastic lids.
Just skip it. Come on, skip it.
Absolutely skip it. So we also have a cute little gift shop here called the Outpost Shop, where, fun fact, you can usually find some very unique pins here if you're a pinhead like I am.
Ooh, and this is also, I would imagine, where parents stop with crying kids on their way out of the park. The kids, of course, did not get what they wanted, and this is like the last resort.
100%. So then, as you pass through the turnstiles, bing, bang, bong, you're in Animal Kingdom. To the left, you'll find locker storage. To the right, you'll find stroller and wheelchair rentals. This is also, I believe, where you can pick up any prints that you may have purchased while in the park or any gifts you may have had sent up to the front of the park. And then the animals begin right away with the Oasis. This is sort of a mini sneak peek, I would say, at what you're about to experience within the park. It's a series of little paths and viewing areas of some of the animals in the park. Some of those animals you'll find are the giant anteater, which is crazy, a boar, a barking deer, wallabies, and spoonbills, Adam.
The Oasis is also kind of a speed bump for every morning's run for Pandora.
It's true. If you're with people who are very easily distracted, put a blindfold on them, maybe, if you're trying to run to Pandora, because you will lose them immediately within the Oasis otherwise.
But other than that very harried time of day, a very kind of nice, gradual lead-in to the park.
Yeah, absolutely. I actually really love this area. It's also where you're most likely to catch a glimpse of Divine. Now, I'm assuming Divine is not currently performing in the park, but if any Tweedles out there know officially, please let us know. But when she is there, I urge you all to be on the lookout for her. She represents sort of the spirit of nature and Animal Kingdom in general, but she's a performer on these enormous stilts connected to both her arms and her legs, and she fully blends in with the surrounding foliage. She looks like a moving, walking, dancing tree nymph, I suppose.
I've been described as that too, yeah.
Yes, many times. Several times. It's really stunning to see. I really recommend trying to catch Divine. So after this short walk through the Oasis, you come to the bridge that will lead you into the rest of the park.
That's right. We've reached the bridge, Patrick, and that stunning view of the Tree of Life.
So great. It's a really cool gradual look at it, too, because the bridge goes up a little bit and you still can't see it until you reach the top of that bridge.
That's right, yes. And crossing that bridge takes us to Discovery Island, which is kind of the central hub of Disney's Animal Kingdom. You know, a lot of the Disney parks have that kind of central hub. And what we're doing now is basically entering the quote-unquote main street of Disney's Animal Kingdom.
I love it. Great analogy.
So the first thing we're going to encounter is Wilderness Explorers, which allows guests to follow in the footsteps of Russell and Doug from the Disney Pixar film Up as they set out on a series of fun, nature-themed challenges. On your way, you become an official Wilderness Explorer. It's set up as self-guided activities that range from animal observation to learning important wilderness skills, and guests can collect over 25 badges along their way. This is primarily set up for children, and I think it's brilliant to have this right as you enter the park, because while Animal Kingdom may be super fun for adults, I think kids might have more of a tendency to be less than impressed with it. It's not as tailored to children, although it certainly is tailored to education. And that's where this Wilderness Explorers activity is so beneficial. The kids will absolutely love it.
That's a great point. If you're planning to spend the full day within Animal Kingdom with your kids, like if this is your only park for the day, I highly recommend this because it will absolutely eat up the entire time going through the park with these little activities that you can do.
Yep, it will for sure keep them interested. And moving on, we got to talk about shopping because it's a Disney park, folks, and you know they're going to throw you right into the middle of a shopping area. The shopping is absolutely on point. As you enter Discovery Island, I'm talking about Island Mercantile and the Discovery Trading Company and a number of small kiosks. And all of these shopping locations sell apparel and accessories. Some sell food. There's plush, there's pins, there's Mickey and Minnie ears, there's magic bands and Vinylmation. Patrick, you're really the expert on the shopping. How do you rate the shopping in Disney's Animal Kingdom?
I think these are some of the better gift shops within Disney World, not only because they have all of the classics there, usually they have a huge selection of clothing as well, but also very specific items that you can only get in Animal Kingdom.
A lot of fun animal print items like plush that are animal print and Mickey and Minnie ears that are animal print. It really does offer merchandise that speaks to the park.
Even some with a plush, some of the classic characters are dressed up in Animal Kingdom outfits, and you can only really get them within that park.
Also, just to point out, we know that Animal Kingdom can get so hot. In fact, I think it is the hottest park of all 4 Walt Disney World parks. So shopping is a great opportunity for you to soak in some of that AC. Good
point. And for Animal Kingdom to soak in some of your money.
That's right. That park is so thirsty it wants all of your bills. If we continue straight into Discovery Island, we come across Winged Encounters. The kingdom takes flight. It is the ultimate birdwatching experience with the Tree of Life just so scenically and beautifully in the background. It's a quick show and it occurs multiple times a day. It's hosted by resident bird care experts who not only tell you about the birds, but also answer your questions. The show features 6 species of South American macaw: the hyacinth, the green-winged, the blue and gold, the scarlet, the blue-throated, and the military. And the largest macaw in this show have an incredible wingspan, Patrick, of around 48 inches, which is twice the size of my waist. Oh.
Yas, macaw.
Yes, macaw. This is a great little show and a great little introduction to kind of what the park is all about. You get some education in there, and those birds, they just fly right at your face. You think they're going to hit you.
You do, absolutely. It can be terrifying if you don't know it's coming, but it's really stunning to see. And I think they tell you this: put your phone in video slow-mo version and you will get the coolest video of these birds.
Also, a fun kind of after-show experience is watching the bird care experts hunting around the park to find the birds that did not return to the show area.
That's right. There's always 1 or 2 that are just like, nah. Not into it.
Yep, not coming back. Sorry about it. So, if we head clockwise, so we're assuming that Winged Encounters is like 6 o'clock p.m. We're going to head to our left. We're going to head clockwise as if we're running towards Pandora, but we're not going to quite go to Pandora in this episode. The first restaurant we're going to encounter is Pizzafari. Patrick, have you ever had Pizzafari?
I've not had Pizzafari. My first instinct when I'm in Animal Kingdom is not to eat pizza.
Or really any Disney park, right?
Unless I'm at Via Napoli.
Ah, yes. Then for sure. Pizzafari is a family-style Italian and American fare restaurant. They do have a dinner option, which runs around $22.99 per adult and around $12.99 per child, gratuity not included or required. But if you don't tip, who are you even?
A garbage person.
You're a garbage person if you don't tip. Advanced reservations are highly recommended for dinner. There's also a quick service option that doesn't require reservations and serves lunch and dinner, and that will run you around $14.99 or under per adult. So kind of heading down that little thoroughfare, the next restaurant we're going to encounter is Tiffin's Restaurant. Tiffin's refers to the light lunch meal prepared for working men in India and the tiered containers the meals were served in. This is a table service, signature, or fine dining restaurant, and advanced reservations are highly recommended. Tiffin's offers international cuisine like African, Asian, and Latin, and is inspired by exploration and adventure in 3 elegant dining rooms honoring the spirit of Africa, Asia, and some of the world's most exotic animals. The restaurant also includes lavish artwork, including photograph collages, paintings, and sculptures inspired by actual notes and field sketches of the Imagineers who created Disney's Animal Kingdom. And those can be found throughout the restaurant. Such a cool tribute to the men and women who created this park. And specifically, I mean, this is mention, number 2 for this episode? Joe Rohde.
Yep. Everyone take a shot. We've mentioned Joe Rohde twice now.
Oh, what a fun game. Yes, take a shot. Lunch in Tiffin's is served from 12 o'clock p.m. to 3:55 p.m. That's very specific. And dinner service runs from 4 o'clock p.m. to 8 o'clock p.m. currently. Lunch and dinner menus run you from about $35 to about $60 per adult. Now, I've been to Tiffin's. Patrick, have you ever experienced Tiffin's?
Not for a meal service, no.
I went as part of the Rivers of Light dining package when Rivers of Light still existed. This is quite expensive, and I don't know if I would have gone had it not been tied to some kind of entertainment experience. So, the added benefit of having VIP seating for Rivers of Light was just too good to pass up on top of a really great meal. But I can see how, on a regular day, if it's not tied to any kind of experience, you maybe wouldn't want to go to Tiffin's.
Fair enough. It is pretty pricey, that's for sure.
It is, and it does eat up time, so to speak, right? I mean, this is a finer dining experience, so you're really going to want to savor it. You're going to want to sit there and enjoy the experience. So just consider that when you're weighing whether you want to go to Tiffin's or not.
Great point. Great point.
The menu is incredible. There's incredible desserts. There are specialty cocktails and a full bar. And speaking of specialty cocktails, Tiffin's is home to one of my favorite cocktails at Animal Kingdom and in Walt Disney World as a whole, and that's the Hightower Rocks, which is tequila, watermelon, sweet and sour, and lime juice. It is absolutely delicious and so refreshing on a hot day. And let's face it, when isn't the day hot in Animal Kingdom? And speaking of the Hightower Rocks, that is also served at Tiffin's Next Door Lounge and my favorite watering hole in Disney World, and that is the Nomad Lounge.
Such a great lounge. One of the better places to escape within the Disney parks.
I love it. I love you, Nomad Lounge. I will always love you. In episode 84, our Fab 5 faves in Animal Kingdom, it was my number 2 fave. In episode 76, Fab 5 watering holes in Disneyland and Walt Disney World, it was my number 1 watering hole.
That knowledge was just out the top of your head, wasn't it?
It was right off the top of my head. I absolutely did not go back and look at my notes. Nomad Lounge serves specialty cocktails and enticing appetizers from all across the globe. There are small plates and a large selection of beer, wine, and mixed drinks. There's an indoor lounge portion and an outdoor balcony on the river with great people watching of people strolling in and out of Pandora, the world of Avatar. The menu includes sliders, steamed rice bowls, churros, and Tiffin's bread service, which includes red pepper hummus, spicy coriander yogurt, and ginger pear chutney. Get the bread service, please. And Patrick, as I was researching this episode, I noticed no longer on the menu the charcuterie board.
Boo. Get out of town.
Oh, I know. Nomad Lounge. That's a nomad lounge,
I see what you did there.
Thank you so much. The small plates and a cocktail at Nomad Lounge will run you $15 to $35 per adult. But I will say it is well worth the stop for cocktails and a light lunch or dinner.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a little bit pricey, but it's worth the relaxation of it all.
I know I've said this on the podcast before, but that's when I feel like I'm really on vacation, is having a cocktail, sitting on that balcony and just relaxing.
It is one of the few spots where you don't feel like you're in Disney necessarily. You just feel like you're on a vacation.
Yeah, it's nice to have those little breaks from a very busy park.
Indeed.
So if we return to that main kind of thoroughfare of Discovery Island, so we're walking back past Tiffin's, past Pizza Safari, and we keep going clockwise, we encounter Creature Comforts, which is quick service where you can pick up Starbucks coffee, everybody, specialty beverages, and Disney baked goods. And here's a fun fact, Patrick. At Creature Comforts, anytime you order any size flat white latte, a donation is made to the Disney Conservation Fund's efforts to protect the endangered South American cotton-top tamarin monkey, which you get a chance to see across from Creature Comforts on the outskirts of the Discovery Island trails. Adorable monkeys and coffee.
Interesting. That is adorable. I wonder why that latte specifically.
Well, because it's a flat white, and so it looks like the hair on top of the monkey's head.
Oh, okay. Did you just make that up, or is that a fact?
That's a fact, Jack.
Well, bing, bang, bong. Thank you for that.
Don't give your coffee to the monkeys, though.
Don't do it, folks. Don't do it.
Don't do it. The Disney Conservation Fund was founded in 1995 and supports the study of wildlife, the protection of natural habitats, and the development of educational as well as community conservation programs around the globe. And we'll be talking about that in additional A Walk in the Parks featuring Animal Kingdom.
Ad nauseum, I imagine.
You're going to be so sick of hearing about the Disney Conservation Fund. If we continued on, we'd head into Africa, but we're actually going to cut through the Discovery Island trails. The Discovery Island trails surround the Tree of Life and feature serene paths, Patrick, wooden footbridges, and cave-like tunnels, and guests can view animals from observation stations. Some of the animals guests may see include, Patrick, get this list, storks.
They bring babies.
Asian small-clawed otters, sponsored by OtterBox.
They look like babies.
They look like little babies on their backs. Red kangaroos.
Not green ones, the red ones.
West African crowned cranes.
I love a crown.
African crested porcupines.
So pointy.
Ouchies. Galapagos tortoises.
Slow, yet fascinating.
Just like me. Lesser flamingos.
Not the greater ones, the lesser ones.
That's right. These are like the discount flamingos.
These are your third cousin flamingos.
Macaws.
We've seen them. They attack you.
Red-tailed lemurs.
I bet they're friends with the red kangaroos.
They're so close. Saddle-billed storks.
Can you ride them on the saddles?
Absolutely. And last but not least, lappet face vultures.
I've been called that before.
In the middle of Discovery Island trails is the Tree of Life, Animal Kingdom's park icon, or as it's more commonly known among Disney aficionados, the weenie.
What?
Yeah, the weenie, because it leads you into the park. Just like Cinderella Castle is the weenie, just like Spaceship Earth is the weenie, the Tree of Life is also referred to as a weenie.
Still don't understand the term weenie, but okay, great.
I like saying it.
Fair. That's fair.
The Tree of Life is 145 feet tall. It's 50 feet wide, just like me, and includes the shapes of over 300 animals carved into its trunk. It's an epic visual symbol of the diversity, beauty, and interconnected nature of Earth's creatures, and it took 18 months to complete. There are over 8,000 branches in various sizes and over 102,000 man-made leaves, Patrick.
Amazing. I also have hundreds of animals carved into my trunk.
Painful?
Nope, I was used to it after the third.
Your trunk became quite numb and you were like, continue.
That's right. That's how it works.
Each leaf, each of those 102,000 man-made leaves is over a foot long. That's just amazing. The design of the enormous structure is based on a bonsai tree. And as we mentioned in a previous episode, Patrick, and we were incorrect in this, and I apologize, the inside structure is not, in fact, an inverted oil rig. Joe Rohde cleared that up last year. He said the design was based on an oil rig, but it was not a recycled oil rig.
Got it. Interesting. We told lies before.
So many lies told on this podcast.
Yeah, that's fair.
A relatively new addition to the Tree of Life is the nighttime show Tree of Life Awakenings. Flickering fireflies magically appear and stir to life the animal spirits in the tree's towering trunk, and I would imagine in Patrick's trunk as well. It is a dazzling, colorful visual display with animated imagery achieved via image mapping technology, similar to what's used on Cinderella Castle for Happily Ever After, and includes a beautiful original musical score. The show occurs every 10 minutes after dark until the park closes.
For my money, this is much more worth your time than Rivers of Light is.
Yeah, I mean, R.I.P. Rivers of Light, you were a moment, but Tree of Life Awakenings is such a moving experience. I mean, you're just standing there watching these little vignettes, but you will find that you're getting a little bit weepy while you're watching it.
Yes, absolutely. It is beautiful.
All right, let's move inside the Tree of Life, Patrick, where we will encounter It's Tough to Be a Bug, which opened on April 22nd, 1998, a full 7 months before the actual feature debuted in theaters, Patrick.
That's right. It was sort of a preview or a teaser to the movie.
That Michael Eisner, he was always promoting something, you know?
Always be promoting.
It's Tough to Be a Bug was the first Pixar attraction to open in a Disney park. It is a delightful 8-minute 3D movie and live show hosted by Flick from A Bug's Life, and it is housed in the base of the tree in a 430-seat theater. Dave Foley returned to voice Flick. Cheech Marin voices Chili. French Stewart voices the termite-ater, a termite. Tom Kenny voices the Dung Beetle brothers. And Jason Alexander voices Weevil Knievel. Kevin Spacey, who voiced Hopper in the film, did not lend his voice to the attraction. Instead, the film's co-director and writer, Andrew Stanton, stepped in to voice Hopper, and he does an excellent job recreating Kevin Spacey's performance.
He does an excellent job, and he's not problematic.
That's an added benefit. Yes. The show includes audio animatronic figures and in-theater 4D surprises like spray from a soldier termite and the putrid defense stench from a stink bug. Man, that stinks.
It's stanky, that's for sure.
You think it's a park guest sitting next to you, but no, it's actually an effect in the movie.
Well, sometimes it's a baby.
Sometimes it's a baby. Sometimes it's someone who decided not to shower that morning, and yikes.
That's right. Sometimes it's a Patrick as well.
The lobby of the theater includes parody posters and music from Broadway shows like Beauty and the Bees, Web Side Story, Little Shop of Hoppers, and My Fair Ladybug. It's Tough to Be a Bug runs several times a day and is never a difficult attraction to get into. I also highly recommend it. Another great excuse to escape the sun and heat.
Yeah, it's a delight. That's for sure. I love that attraction.
Moving on and exiting the Tree of Life and the Discovery Island trails, if we headed left, we would cross the bridge into Asia. We'll cover Asia in another A Walk in the Park Animal Kingdom segment, but we're going to the right. And the first thing we encounter is 8 Spoon Cafe, which is a quick service cart. It has snacks like baked macaroni and cheese with pulled pork, baked macaroni and cheese with shrimp and sweet chili sauce, and Mickey pretzels with cheese. Who doesn't want any of these hot items on a hot Animal Kingdom day?
I love a hot summer day and some pasta, you know?
Feels so good in your body.
Mm-hmm.
Snacks at 8 Spoon Cafe will run you about $15 and under per adult. Next to 8 Spoon Cafe, we have the Smiling Crocodile, another quick service stand offering snacks like pulled pork jelly donut sandwich. Yes, you heard that correctly. Street tacos and pork tamales. Snacks at the Smiling Crocodile, again, will run you about $15 and under per adult.
I didn't know that existed, actually. I'm going to have to check that out next time I'm there.
I'm assuming the pulled pork jelly donut sandwich is savory, yes?
Who can say? Who can say? I will let everyone know when I try it.
Yeah, I mean, I love a sweet and savory combo. Maybe it's that. I got to try it.
It's going to happen.
Following those 2 quick service options, we have a couple of merchandise carts. And then we come to Doug and Russell's Wilderness Explorers Clubhouse, where you, yes you, dear Disney fan, can meet the Up characters Doug and Russell. You can give them a hug during normal times. You can have your picture taken with them. They are absolutely adorable.
Yeah, they're one of the more fun character encounters for sure.
Turning now slightly to the left, we come to a very, very popular quick service location, and that is Flame Tree Barbecue, which offers an assortment of smokehouse, meat, and chicken meals served with signature baked beans and coleslaw. There are also salads and plant-based options for those that are watching their waistlines. And who among us isn't, right, Patrick?
I'm watching a lot of waistlines while I'm in the parks.
There are also adult beverages at Flame Tree Barbecue. Meals here will run you $15 and under per adult. It is a great value. And Flame Tree offers mobile order, which I highly recommend for this location. During lunchtime, this place is a madhouse. People love the barbecue. They love the location. They love the food offerings, but it gets very busy, so take advantage of that mobile order. There are also great seating options near the lagoon and across from the former Rivers of Light seating. Some beautiful views of Animal Kingdom, including Expedition Everest.
It's true. You will also be attacked by begging birds.
That was so well put, Patrick. Yes, the birds love to hang out in this area.
They do. Don't feed them. Don't you do it. But they will absolutely give you that puppy dog stare, and they will try to steal your food off of the table.
Yeah, I really like the fries here.
Oh, I did not know that.
They're just kind of like generic fries, but they taste so good to me.
Got it. I'm not a French fry person, so I'll have to take your word for it.
I thought we were friends.
Not after this, apparently.
Next to Flame Tree Barbecue, we have the Isle of Java. You may need some Java at this point. You've made almost a full circle around Discovery Island. Isle of Java is a quick service stand, yet another quick service stand, offering fresh brewed espresso, cappuccino, cold drinks, and various sweet treats. They do have Mickey pretzels here. Yes, they do. They also have a tiger tail chocolate twist, which is similar to the Cheshire tail in Magic Kingdom. They also serve Irish coffee or island cappuccino with white chocolate and Captain Morgan original spiced rum. So if you need a little pick-me-up before you head into Dinoland USA, you know where to stop. Treats at Isle of Java will run you about $15 and under per adult. And last but not least, Patrick, before I pass it back to you, before we head into Dinoland USA, there are some restrooms to your right, and this is where I often stop to relieve myself.
That is a fun fact.
So just know that if you're walking by those restrooms, if you want to use those restrooms, you can think to yourself, Adam was here.
Yeah, that's a nightmare that you've just left us with. Thank you for that.
You're absolutely welcome. That concludes our Discovery Island full circle. And now, Patrick, on to Dinoland USA.
Well done. Thank you so much, Adam. Thank you for passing on that baton. Yeah, as you said, Animal Kingdom is laid out almost identically, actually, to the Magic Kingdom, the Tree of Life being the castle or the center of the park, and all the other lands are offshoots from that main hub. So the first land and the last place we'll walk through today is Dinoland USA. Now, ironically, this would be where Tomorrowland is, but instead of the future, we're walking into the past, Adam.
You just blew my mind.
I mean, that's what I'm here to do. When you cross that bridge into Dinoland, you'll come to a, ta-da, souvenir cart to your left, and then Trilo Bites to your right, which is one of my very favorite quick service snack areas in all of Disney World. Now, Adam, this is where you used to be able to get the Smoky Bones milkshake with bourbon, which made my Fab 5 list a while back, but alas, no longer. No longer can you get that shake there.
Much like the dinosaurs, it has become extinct.
It is absolutely extinct. However, you can get floats, waffle cones, regular milkshakes, and the must-have buffalo chicken chips, which is basically nachos, but the chips are sort of... Do you remember tater skins? Is that what they're called? Tater skins?
I sure do, yeah.
So good. So good. It's basically those with shredded chicken and buffalo sauce and some tomatoes, a little bit of lettuce. It's enormous, but it's absolutely delicious. This has been my lunch on more than a few occasions.
A chips salad.
A chips buffalo salad, for sure. Delish.
Never had it. Want to experience it the next time we're there? I'm getting it.
Oh, you're going to have to order 2 because I will eat a full one on my own.
Let's document that, post it to our social media. People really want to see us eating nachos.
Yeah, it's a real sight to behold. You can also get sodas, beer, and a lime margarita there. Now, here is where there is sort of a fork in the road within Dinoland USA, and we're going to go to the right, where you'll find the Bone Yard. Now, it's not what it sounds like. It is actually a kids-only dino-themed jungle gym. It's basically the dino version of the kids' waiting area at Dumbo, or for those of you who remember, the old Honey, I Shrunk the Kids playland in Hollywood Studios.
The Boneyard does sound like a gay bar, though.
It does. It does indeed. Now, I assume this is closed right now because it is a COVID nightmare, but it's but it's a really fun place to drop your kids off so you can drink. I'm just saying, just putting it out there. Now, moving right along to the right again, walking sort of the perimeter of Dinoland USA, we come across some more food, the Dino Bites snacks, and Restaurantosaurus. Dino Bites is another walk-up, quick-service snack location with ice cream sandwiches, waffle cones, cookies, pretzels, sodas, and beers. And Restaurantosaurus is a quick-service, sit-down restaurant with both outdoor and indoor seating. Adam, have you been there before?
I have not been to either of these locations.
Oh, it's super cute. The design of it feels like a camp mess hall from the 1950s with dinosaurs. It's a lot bigger than it seems. It's actually really enormous inside. They serve both lunch and dinner, and I believe the highest price point on the menu is around $15, so it's not too bad for a lunch or dinner place. It's mostly Americana type food with hot dogs, chili dogs, burgers, Cobb salads, chicken nuggets, and they do have an Impossible Spicy Southwestern burger, which I hear is super delicious. Now, this is a good place to go if you have a gluten allergy, as they are able to make most of the items on the menu gluten-free. They also serve non-alcoholic drinks, a few beers, and again, a lime margarita.
It seems like lime margaritas in Animal Kingdom are like trash cans in any Disney park. You're never more than 30 feet away from a lime margarita.
Thank goodness. Patrick needs his medicine.
So refreshing.
So refreshing. So moving on down the path, we come to the Cretaceous Trail, where pre-COVID and hopefully returning at some point, you can meet Daisy, Donald, and Chip and Dale all dressed up in their Cretaceous period outfits for the Dino Bash. They are super cute, super random, but I love them. They're adorable.
So adorable. Yeah, I don't frequent meet and greets, but I always step back and just watch some of the interactions because particularly Donald just thinks like he is the king. I think he's like the mayor of Dinoland or something, and he is so cute.
Yeah, absolutely cute. Chip and Dale, adorable, as per usual. So you can continue through that path, but we are going to backtrack a smidge and loop around to the path that leads you to the dinosaur attraction. But before we get there, you can inexplicably meet both Launchpad and Scrooge McDuck from Disney's DuckTales. Why are they here in Dinoland? Who can say? But they are super fun characters to meet.
Because dinosaurs became birds, Patrick.
Fair. I mean, when you're right, you're right.
Isn't that the logical explanation?
It is. It is absolutely the logical explanation. Thank you so much. Heading down a smidge more, we'll come to Dino Sue, which is a replica of a Tyrannosaurus Rex fossil that is, fun fact, the most complete T-Rex fossil to date.
It seems to me that Sue is more complete than even I am. She's got it all figured out, and I'm still here just kind of like wandering, figuring out who is Adam.
Well, maybe Dino Sue can complete you, Adam.
You complete me, Dino Sue.
I love it. So this, of course, brings us to one of my favorite attractions in Disney World, Dinosaur, formerly known as Countdown to Extinction. It is a dark ride EMV attraction. EMV stands for Enhanced Motion Vehicle. Now, if you've been on the Indiana Jones ride in Disneyland, you have actually ridden this exact ride, only now it has dinosaurs and Felicia Rashad. The premise of the ride is that you're traveling back in time via a time rover just before the extinction of the dinosaurs to save an iguanodon. Why this iguanodon? We we don't really know, but it ties in with the dinosaur movie, so there you go. Anyways, I think it's a super fun, thrilling, very dark ride. It's got great sound effects. And frankly, I want more rides like this in Disney.
Yeah, it is quite the experience. I still get scared riding Dinosaur.
Oh, for sure. Some of those jump scares make me scream, like literally scream.
Even after multiple ridings, I still am just like completely on edge and having the time of my life riding that ride.
100%, 100%. And it's so fun to think about, as I just mentioned, and we've mentioned it before on the podcast, that it is the exact same track lifted from that Indiana Jones ride into this new themed ride. It makes you sort of want to map out where you are on the Indiana Jones ride.
Absolutely. It's such a cool little fun fact.
Mm-hmm. And even I think a lot of the movements are pretty similar as well. It's just that they've replaced Indiana Jones with a iguanodon. As happens, that old story. So after you've screamed your face off, you'll, of course, go through not one, but two gift shops before you spill out into the last section of Dino Land, Chester and Hester's Dino-Rama, which is a dino-themed old-school carnival, basically, with sketchy rides and games that you cannot win.
This is an interesting section of the park for me, Patrick.
Why is that, Adam?
I understand in theory how it fits in. Like, I get the dinosaur connection, obviously, but I just don't get the carnival aspect in this moment in Animal Kingdom.
Fair enough. I actually have an answer for you if you have a minute to listen to me.
I'm sorry, I have to go.
Okay, great. For the rest of you, while Adam's away, so Dino Land is supposed to be sort of a small town that was built within Animal Kingdom, with the Dino Institute, which is the dino ride, being sort of the reason for this small town. And then, this is so crazy, Chester and Hester's is supposed to be sort of an economic driver for this small town that they built to get tourists to come in to then visit the Dino Institute.
Okay.
I know. It's a long walk around the block to get to a carnival, but hey, here we are.
I never really spend any time in this area of the park. It's kind of a walkthrough experience for me. And I believe the kind of mousetrap style coaster is closed now, right? I mean, officially closed, not ever going to reopen.
We think so. We'll get to that in just a second. But yeah. I think this section might be on its way out, but that remains to be seen for sure.
I vote yes on that initiative. Let's see something else in this area.
I actually really like this area. I think it's fun and it fits in, but I understand that they haven't given it a lot of love lately.
Yeah.
to put it mildly. So the two attractions that are here are Triceratops Spin, which I usually call not Dumbo. It's basically the same ride as Dumbo, but you're riding a baby Triceratops instead. And then, as Adam said, there is or was Primeval Whirl, or as many people called it, Primeval Hurl, which was basically a mousetrap ride, like Adam said. If folks are familiar with that, it's a roller coaster where you can't really see the track or the edge of the track, so you always feel like you're just about to die. And it also spins and throws your neck and back into certain trauma.
I actually never rode it, so I shouldn't be poo-pooing it, but those type of rides are just not for me.
I actually really love this ride. It's jerky, to say the very least, but it always makes me laugh when I'm on it, and it really throws you back into that old school carnival era of it all. As we said, I don't believe it's running anymore. It was running seasonally for a while, but it hasn't been up for quite some time, which, as I said, makes me think that this whole section is possibly in consideration for a refresh or a full-on overhaul, but we don't really know. They haven't said anything about it yet.
I'm curious to see what they're thinking with this area. It'll be welcomed by a lot of Disney fans, I think. I know there are some true lovers of this area, but I think a change is a-coming.
I think so too. It would make me sad if they got rid of Dinosaur, but I guess they could just retheme it again if they wanted to.
Oh no, keep Dinosaur, please, but everything else, let's just level it.
Got it. So lastly, on your way out, you will pass by some of these carnival games and another quick service snack spot called Dino Diner. And then just before you pass under the big green brontosaurus or brachiosaurus or whatever you call it, you head into the rest of the park, which we'll cover in our next Walk in the Park of Animal Kingdom.
Ooh, we covered a lot of ground already.
We covered a lot of ground. We covered about a third of Animal Kingdom, which is not saying much because the rest of the park is absolutely enormous and expansive.
A lot of restaurants, a lot of snack locations today, which makes sense because we were kind of focused in the center of that wheel or that hub or whatever. But it is a great area to kind of pay attention to all of these details because it is an area that you will be continually returning to throughout the day.
Yeah, absolutely, for sure. Speaking of food, I have a hot tip for people. Don't expect to get breakfast in Animal Kingdom. It is a park that opens pretty early, but most of the restaurants and even the quick service locations don't even open up until like 11:30. So if you are going to be hungry in the morning, eat before you go to Animal Kingdom.
Unless, Patrick, you take advantage of a certain character dining experience, which we will talk about in a later episode.
Such a great point. Such an excellent point. Yeah, we covered a lot. There's so much within Animal Kingdom. It makes me rethink my recommendation from a while back where I always used to say, take one day to do both Animal Kingdom and Hollywood Studios because you can cover it all in one day. But I really think that Animal Kingdom deserves a full day's attention.
Absolutely. What's so great about Animal Kingdom is, yes, you'll be walking a lot, but the amount of attractions and things to experience is not equal to the amount of walking you'll be doing, if that makes sense. So when I ever do Animal Kingdom, I like to go early in the morning, grab my spot on Flight of Passage or whatever, do a couple of rides, attractions, maybe have lunch, then head back to my resort, take a nap, relax for a little bit, and head back into Animal Kingdom in the evening because it is completely transformed in the evening and so beautiful.
Yeah, it is definitely a different park at night. That's absolutely for sure. I guess that's kind of with all of Disney parks, but it is really, really beautiful, specifically at night in Animal Kingdom. I'm actually not with you on that. I feel like because Animal Kingdom is so big, I'm always so tired when I'm done with it. And so if I go back to my hotel, I can't fathom going back to Animal Kingdom and doing even more walking. It's a hike to get from the entrance to even Discovery Island.
Yeah, you'll be walking a lot. So prepare accordingly. If you need to just keep going, keep charging through it, do that. If you need a little rest, if you're old like me, I'm not going to judge you.
Fair enough. But listen, you could take 2 days to do Animal Kingdom, one to see it during the day and then one to experience it at night because it is a different experience at night for sure.
Absolutely. Well, we would love to hear your thoughts on what we covered today. We covered the park entrance. We covered that oasis. We covered Discovery Island. We talked about Dino Land USA. What do you really love in this area? We're talking about attractions or food items. We always want to hear what you find tasty in a Disney park. You can reach out to us on social media. That's Instagram, Facebook, or Twitter at GDTD Podcast.
Or leave us a voice memo or email at info@gazedothed.com. So you hate Dino Land, Adam. You hate Dino Land.
Listen, Patrick, how dare you kind of throw me under the Dino bus like that? I love the attraction in Dino Land. I think Dinosaur is a fantastic attraction. I always ride it every visit. It's just the stuff around Dinosaur that I don't really care for.
So you hate Dino Land, Adam. So you hate Dino Land.
Hey, Patrick.
Hey, Adam.
My dogs are barking.
Your feet or your literal dog?
Well, as we've heard throughout this recording, it will be edited out, but my actual dog and my feet from walking around Animal Kingdom.
Fair enough. Ironically, on our Animal Kingdom episode, you and I have both wanted to really disappear our dogs.
They are beasts. They knew that we were talking about their kind.
Fair. That's fair. They had things to say and contribute.
That's right. They wanted to be part of the conversation. I can't blame them, but it was so great to kind of take a little stroll through Animal Kingdom that we thought we'd carry on the theme of animals into this week's Quick D segment, which is Quick D, Marry, Kill, Disney Plus and Chill.
Love it. We haven't done this in a while. I'm excited to get back into it. I'm excited to get married. I'm excited to do some stuff, you know?
By stuff, you mean murdering an animal?
I do mean that.
For those that don't know, Marry, Kill, Disney Plus and Chill is like that classic game, Marry, F or Kill. Only this time we use Disney characters and Disney Plus and Chill replaces the F.
Yeah, it's still just as inappropriate, but here we are.
Some would say even more inappropriate.
Some would say, a lot would say, Disney would say.
Disney would absolutely say. So as I said, we're focused on animals. We're keeping things wild. We're keeping it Disney's Animal Kingdom themed, so to speak, which means any animal from Disney's kingdom or universe could be mentioned in this segment. Patrick, would you like to go first?
I would only like to go first, Adam.
That's very generous of you.
Thank you so much. I'm just realizing now I don't know what first means. Does that mean I'm asking you first or I'm answering first?
I think I'm answering first.
Excellent. Here we go. Adam, Marry, Kill, Disney Plus and Chill, Owl from Winnie the Pooh, Rabbit from Winnie the Pooh, Eeyore from Winnie the Pooh.
All right. You've really stuck to that Pooh theme.
In all of the 100-acre woods, who are you murdering? Who are you marrying? And who are you getting down to business with?
Okay. I am going to murder Eeyore.
Wow. We just took one in the teeth for mental health, but okay.
Listen, I don't think there can be two of us with mental health issues in that relationship, okay? I need to be the one who drains all the energy from the relationship. I can't have it be Eeyore.
And you do that. That's for sure. That's absolutely true.
That's my calling card. It's my go-to. When people think of Adam, they think of any kind of energy being drained.
Yeah. If Adam's involved, suddenly everyone's an introvert.
That's right. That's right. So bye, Eeyore. I am killing you. Who am I going to marry? I'm going to marry Rabbit.
Ooh, fascinating. Okay, explain yourself.
I think Rabbit is a provider, constantly in the garden, growing produce. I will never go hungry. Rabbit is a planner, which I appreciate. I think I will have a very enjoyable, sustained kind of existence with Rabbit.
I love it. I have to believe that Rabbit is real good at meal preps.
Oh my gosh. The stews, Patrick? The stews alone. I mean, stay for the stews. That's that's what I think of when I think of Rabbit.
Yeah, and marriage in general. Stay for the stew.
Stay for the stew, yes. And I guess that means that I'm going to Disney Plus and Chill with Owl.
Okay, what might that be like?
Painful, I would assume.
Yeah.
There's a lot of beak to your face and other parts of your body. And I can't imagine those talons will feel very good. Like maybe a little bit clawing into my back a little bit, but
yeah,
in other places, it's not going to feel so great.
Yeah, wear protection. And by protection, I mean a full body armor suit.
Yeah, but I think Owl of the three is probably best keeping his beak shut because he's kind of a know-it-all, So like it's just action, pure action with Owl and my life with Rabbit. And then, of course, obviously, I've killed and buried Eeyore.
Of course, obviously. Owl is, after all, a reader, so you have to assume he's read the Kama Sutra.
Isn't that in one of the Winnie the Pooh books?
Yeah, it is. It's called the Kama Sutra, though.
Of course it is.
Yeah.
But of course it is, Patrick.
Oh.
All right, Patrick, here is my lineup for you. Whereas you went with a Winnie the Pooh theme, I went with a P theme. All of my characters have...
Dear.
Let me explain myself. All of my characters have a first name that begins with P, okay? So this isn't going to go someplace crass, all right?
Okay. I went with the P theme earlier today. Very different.
This will be just as uncomfortable as your P theme, I would imagine.
For everyone.
Patrick, marry, kill, Disney Plus and Chill, Pascal from Tangled, Pumbaa from The Lion King, or Pluto, Mickey's best friend?
I love it. I love it. Okay, I'm ready. I'm ready for this. I'm going to kill Pumbaa. You know, I don't know if I need an explanation for that.
I find it very interesting that both of us went to kill right out of the gate.
Listen, when you want to get rid of somebody, it's quick. It's quick to the mind.
Is it because of the farting?
It's a little bit because of that. I can't imagine I'd enjoy all those bugs.
Yeah. Yep.
Not into it. Pumbaa, you gotta go. Sorry about it. Goodbye. I'm gonna marry Pluto.
Oh, of course you are, yeah.
I mean, marry your best friend, and Pluto's everyone's best friend.
That's absolutely correct. Pluto is 100% the right choice to marry.
That's right. And if I'm going to be married to someone, I want it to be someone who does not speak.
I hope Dan is listening to this episode.
He stopped listening to the show years ago.
You know what? That Dan's very smart. Yeah, he's very smart.
Fair enough. And I guess that means I'm Disney Plus and chilling with Pascal.
Okay, how do you see that going? That tiny little lizard reptile? How does that work?
A lot of tongue action, that's for sure.
Oh, well, now that you brought that up, that's all I can see, and good for you.
Yeah, didn't think that through, did you? Did you? And also, I'm adventurous in the bedroom, and with his ability to hide, just a lot of sex games, So much you can do with that. And he's going to want to hide from me, that's for sure.
Yeah, I see that fully, yes.
That will do it for this episode of Gaze Do the D. Thanks for listening. To become a patron of the podcast, visit our website at gazedothed.com/donate. For a donation of any amount, you can receive exclusive Gaze Do the D content and help us continue to bring you the very best Disney news and discussion. Continue the conversation after this episode on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at GDTD Podcast. Submit your questions or show ideas to info@gazedothed.com. Have a great week, everybody. See ya real soon.